you're writing your sitcom at the moment.
I am.
How hard is it to write a sitcom?
Well, I mean, that's a very leading question, isn't it? Because if I tell the truth and go, it's really hard, actually, then people go, listen to him, it's really hard to write a sitcom. You want to try digging holes for a living,
Digging
mate?
holes, yeah.
Working on the motorways at 3 a.m. So, talking to you, who works in the media, it's really hard. Talking to you, who's watching this and you might dig holes, I'm not saying that's the only people that watch. I'm sure you've got different types of viewers.
Got lots of different types.
But the viewer that's watching who digs holes, it's an easy job.
It's an easy job.
Yeah, you want to get into what I'm doing, mate. Digging holes, hard work.
How many times do you have to write something before it? You mean you write it and then you show it to... How many writing it? You and Tim and everyone else? And...
No, Tim doesn't write it. Everyone thinks he does because it's gaggy. But you mean Vine?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's lying on a beach in Barbados waiting for the phone call to come home and refilm it.
Really?
Yeah, he's got the best job in the world. He just turns up, reads.
So why choose him?
Eh?
Why choose him?
I know. I've asked the same question. I should have chosen someone that writes as well.
Yeah.
I know.
How many times before the script do you have to then show it to someone at the BBC who then changed it around and all that sort of...
A little bit, yeah. It's with the, certain things have happened in television over the last couple of years where you have things that are checked more than they used to be, probably. Yes, we're talking about you, Ross. And so...
That's been a nightmare for everyone, hasn't it?
It's been hard.
And I don't think it's Jonathan Ross's fault, do you, and Russell Brand's fault, or do you? Do you think it's their fault? Well, it is their fault, but it's not their fault because they didn't think they were doing something that harmful.
I don't know the rules. All I know is that things have changed because, Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand rang up Andrew Sachs and said a few things they shouldn't, and it was on the front page. And yet in the 70s, John Cleese was actually hitting him on the head with a frying pan. And nothing was said about it. So...
Things have changed.
Things have changed. It just shows you how much has changed. Really hitting him as well, like just slamming his head into the wall where the whole wall was moving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet now you phone someone else, you get into trouble.
Quickly on stand-up as well. When are you going to do some more stand-up?
I'm doing it now, hence the look of a dishevelled... If you'd have come an hour ago, I had a beard. Because I've had a week off from stand-up and I've just grown a beard and just woken up. Just sat at my computer to write my sitcom and not shaved. And started drinking a bit earlier in the day. I used to say nothing before 6 o'clock. But it's been sneaking into 5:30, that dangerous territory. 5:30 is late afternoon, it's not evening, is it?
It's summer, lunchtime. So is it the different skill writing for all three? Sitcom, obviously you're on all the panel shows where that's all kind of mainly ad-libby.
Well, that's just chatty, yeah. The panel game stuff I do is chatty, so that's the best job in the world. That's turn up.
Yep.
I basically spend 3 hours making half an hour of telly on the panel game, maybe 2 hours. Sitcom, 2 months making half an hour of telly. It's a lot more labour intensive. So, and then with the stand-up, different type of writing. Again, you write some jokes, you go to the local comedy club, you get a bit of paper out your hand, literally a bit of paper. You read it out, you look at the crowd, 2 or 3 people laugh. You put it down, you pick up another piece of paper. No one laughs, put it down. 5 people laugh, top pocket.
Right, that's how it works.
Like that. End of the night, you get those 2 bits of paper. Clear up the 25 off the floor. Go
start
home,
again.
have a little cry.
Get
start
drunk.
again, and just little bits work every night. My ratio is probably I probably write about 50 jokes, of which 30 I never ever get spoken of ever again, because I read them back on the computer and go, and about 20 of them I'll read out to a comedy club, of which about 2 will work.
Really? Don't you know they're going to work as soon as you've written them?
The odd one, but very rarely.
Really?
Yeah, very rarely. But
you're not very good at your job then, are you? If you don't, I'm sorry.
Very bad.
If you don't know that you write it, don't you go, that is a killer joke. That's
Occasionally
working.
you get that, but most jokes aren't like that. Most jokes don't. If you could write them all day, life would be a doddle. The problem is you have to. It's all those other ones that make up the show. It's like a lot of people talk about jokes like kids. It's true. Like you've got your exceptionally gifted child.
Yeah.
Then you've got your middle child who's, not trying as hard at school, but you can't say, chuck him out into the garden. He's still got to live with you.
Right.
And then the third child, well, he's just banging his head on the brick wall. He can't speak or walk, and he's 4. You know what I mean? And he's still got to be welcome into the home, and we're going to make the most of him. 4 was probably a bit old for that joke. It sounded like he might have problems. I should have said 2. Shouldn't I?